for an older ballpark. There's an awful lot to do outside the Big A here in Anaheim. Inside, well, there's a lot to do as well because the Angels' bats have been red hot in the first 2 games of this series. Tonight, it's the finale from Angel Stadium. The Phils and the LA Angels. All right, so the Phils were clicking during their 5-game winning streak. Look at the number of runs they averaged per game, 6.4. Their average 292, and their runners in scoring position numbers were through the roof. Well, not so much in the first 2 games here against the Angels. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with John Crook. All right, so the Phillies' offense has been struggling, obviously, in this series. The Angels' offense has not. We got a chance to see Mike Trout, our only time this year, and he has put on a pretty good show the first couple games.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been putting on a show since he came up to the major leagues 6 years ago, and it's just going to continue for him. He's such a dynamic player. Speed, power, hits for average, great defender, and he didn't waste any time in game 1. 2 base hits off of Aaron Nola, and you thought to yourself, okay, singles, okay, we'll give him that. Well, last night he decided, I'm going to show you the long ball, too. He hit a bomb to center field up in the hedges over Odubel Herrera's head. But you look at who he talks to on a daily basis about hitting. We forget how great a player Albert Pujols was early in his career, and you look at the numbers. I mean, they dwarf Mike Trout's numbers, and we're talking about Mike Trout being the best player in baseball right now. But I think he's learned a lot from Albert Pujols. He said he's learned a lot, and when you learn from it, you don't go to a guy who can't hit to try to learn how to hit. You go to Albert Pujols.
Well, tonight it'll be Jared Eickhoff that has to deal with Trout and Pujols. Jared has been better since coming off the disabled list.
Yeah, fastball command's been better. The breaking ball's been better. And trust me, he's going to need both of these tonight if the Phillies are going to get a win. But here's what I liked about it. Look at these pitches right here. Where the glove is, that's where he's throwing it. But if you're going to beat this Angels team, you can't just rely on that fastball. They do hit breaking balls well, but Jared, that's his pitch. And he has to get that breaking ball, command it down in the strike zone, down and away from these powerful right-handed hitters that the Angels have. And if he can, there's a good chance we get on the plane with a W.
That'll be a nice thing to do. 2-0 in the month of July with a 3.27 earned run average. No homers allowed in 4 of his last 5 starts. So it is the finale of this interleague matchup between the Phils and the Angels. It'll be Parker Bridwell on the mound for the Angels. Jared Eickhoff making his 19th start of the season. Well, besides the offense of the Angels, there's also been some pretty good defense by both teams. Freddie Galvis, well, he's put on his normal show. Odubel Herrera may have misjudged that one, but he tracked it down. And I'll tell you what, Maldonado can absolutely throw. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com. in the far end of the dugout, hoping his team will get some runs so he can go out on the mound with a lead. Same for Pete Mackanin. He's hoping his team will get some runs as well. Let's take a look at Pete's lineup for tonight. Brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, good news. Aaron Altair is back in the lineup hitting third for the Phillies, and he's out in right field. Tommy Joseph bats cleanup, and then Odubel Herrera, who since the 1st of June hitting .335 with a .376 on-base percentage. His .335 batting average is 11th in all of Major League Baseball. Jose Altuve is leading the way in that category. And there is Parker Bridwell, the 26-year-old from Hereford, Texas, 5-1 with an ERA of 2.83. You know, he's a guy that with the Orioles, John, was more of a fastball-oriented pitcher, but now he's more of a balanced pitcher for the Angels.
Yeah, and that's the only way to pitch. Unless you're a closer and you have an exceptional fastball like Aroldis Chapman, you got to throw other pitches. And I mean, you look at, he still has a decent enough fastball, 92.5 miles an hour. The curveball, though, they say is the key. He has a great curveball. If he's throwing it for strikes early in the count and then can throw it so they have to chase, it could be a long day for the Phillies. But they say he is a fierce competitor.
Cesar Hernandez leads it off, shows bunt, bunts it toward third. It's rolling up the line, and it rolls foul. I think Martin Maldonado got on Valbuena a little bit about waiting so long. At least that's what I can deduce by their discussion. No balls and one strike.
With Valbuena, it's hard to tell what he was talking about.
They tell us here in Anaheim that he's a lot like Odubel Herrera from that standpoint.
Look at him.
Well, no balls and one strike to Cesar.
I might be jumping for joy too if I was hitting behind Trout and Pujols.
You see what he did last night when there was a foul ball up the third base line, or a base hit up the third base line. He kicked it foul like Lenny Randall. Outside, 2-1. Cesar 25 infield hits, 8 bunt hits, so it's not a surprise that he tried to lay one down there. And he lines one to center field, and it's going to hang up there for Trout. I feel like the Phillies have had a lot of those in this series. Time now for our Nissan keys to the game.
If we're going to win, if Jared Eichhoff's going to win this game tonight, he has to command that breaking ball, and that's a big pitch. These American League teams, for some reason, they love to hunt that breaking ball. They'll sit on it, and if you hang it, they're going to hit it hard. He needs to command his breaking ball. And even though Maldonado threw out Freddie last night, the Phillies, because they're struggling right now offensively with runners in scoring position, you still have to run. You got to make him throw you out. And if he throws a couple guys out in this game tonight, so be it. You shut down the running game, but you still got to try to put pressure on him just because of the fact you're not scoring runs.
Yeah, error on the side of aggressiveness. Isn't that what we always say?
Yes, indeed.
1 ball and 1 strike to Galvis, making his 106th start of the season.
And this is the Phillies'
106th game.
There we go.
Outside, 2-1. Freddie is 1 for 7 in the series. Three balls, 1 strike. Looked like Maldonado wanted that pitch from Ben May, the home plate umpire. Maldonado's caught all 3 games for the Angels. And ball 4, so Galvis draws a walk. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Timothy Grant of East Hampton, New Jersey. Phillies hit a homer in today's ball game. Then Timothy will win $300. Here's Aaron Altair, who is 0 for his last 6, sat out last night because his hamstring was bothering him. But he's done his last 11 games. That's why you want his bat in the lineup. 0-1.
He seems to be doing a lot of that lately, taking that first pitch fastball. Outside,
1 ball, 1 strike. Looking down at Juan Samuel in the third base coach's box. In the dirt.
Well, here's one. If you wish, Freddie was looking in, he could pick up that breaking ball and take off. Tell you what, though, Maldonado has impressed me. His defensive skill. I mean, not throwing. We know he can throw, but he's really good behind there, blocking balls, framing pitches.
Well, he has 1 error this year and 4 pass balls, which is not a whole lot. In fact, as a team, the catching position for the Angels has 3 errors, which is 5th best in baseball. That's not a lot of errors.
Their manager was pretty good. You think he helps them a little?
I would hope he does. He definitely throws a lot of signals out there.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. The 1-1-1, 3,
something like that. Popped him up right side of the infield. And 2 outs.
First baseman, number 19, Tommy Joseph.
Tommy Joseph now the hitter. It's been a pretty good run for Tommy Joseph. Look at his last 7 games, hitting .370. You can even stretch that back to his last 9 games. 1 more home run, a little less batting average, but still. At a fastball on the inside corner. Down to right field. Flores going back on it. And a step or 2 from the track makes the catch. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. On to the bottom of the 1st inning. Jared Eichhoff ready to go to work for the Phils. Phils, let's take a look at his lineup for tonight. Brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, Ben Revere will lead it off in left field. Once again, Revere is 3 for 8 in the series. Then Trout and Pujols. Valbuena, Simmons. Simmons 4th among American League shortstops in fielding percentage, but also is among the leaders in a number of offensive categories as well. And they will face right-hander Jared Eichhoff. Eichhoff 2-7 with an ERA of 4.56. He's trying to keep on going. He said that when he came back from the DL, he just cleared the slate. It's easier said than done, but he certainly, his numbers show that.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's great if you could do it, but yeah, we said that about the Phillies going into the second half of the season after the All-Star break. Clear the slate, start all new. Odubel seemed to have done it pretty well. Cameron Rupp swinging the bat good, and Eichhoff has won a couple games, so he has cleared something.
Let's hope it continues here in the month of August. His first start here in August. And Ben Revere will lead it off, hitting .248 on the year. Ben's going through one of those spurts that he went through with the Phillies in 2014 when he finished with 184 hits. In his last 24 games, he's hitting .325. Obviously, he's not going to hit for a whole lot of power, but you put him in the top of the order or even put him in the number 9 spot.
Yeah, he plays hard. He runs the bases well. He can steal a base, and he's going to get his hits. He ain't going to walk.
I'm surprised he took a pitch there.
Yeah, I know. They probably told him to.
He's hit in 7 straight games. Three balls, 1 strike.
See how bad a miss that was? That's not a good sign.
No, because he's fallen off toward first
Knapp
base.
wanted that ball in, and that was another one that Knapp wanted in, and it ran over the outside part of the plate and was borderline.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, he wants it in again. And it's in this time, but it's low. Ball 4.
They stop the game and give him the ball.
Or first base. Mike Trout is coming up. It's time now for our Geico quote of the day on being the 4th American League player to hit at least 20 home runs 6 times before his age 26 season. It means a lot just to have your name with all-time greats. Obviously, I don't think about this stuff until it happens. It's pretty special to me, for sure. A-Rod, Canigliaro, and Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle.
A lot of, besides being a switch hitter, a lot of similarities. You know, hit for average, hit for power, drive in runs, score runs, steal a base, and you know, we talked about the ball wasn't carrying well, but he kind of dispelled that myth, didn't he?
That
was a long one up in them hedges. Used to love as a kid when you hit him over the hedges.
In your backyard?
Yep.
It wasn't 396 though.
No.
0-1 to Trout. Toss over. Revere is back. Phillies pitchers have picked off 14 runners this year at second, first, and over at third, which is tops in all of baseball. There goes Revere.
What a
pitches,
jump.
Yep, a strike. And there was no chance for Andrew Knapp to throw him out.
I don't, you know, we can't hear from up here, of course, but I don't know. You know, I'm thinking Tommy told him to step off because Revere just took off. Watch this. Eichhoff, I mean, he just took off. I guess Eichhoff made up his mind. I'm not throwing over. I'm going home. And Ben Revere could read his mind.
Well, that's the 15th stolen base for Ben Revere. Second one of this series. One ball and 2 strikes to Trout. I think if you Trout, you're sitting there thinking, well, thank you for getting in the scoring position. I took a strike, but now I got a chance for an RBI.
Yeah, I'm sure Mike Socha's given him the, you know, don't try to hit a grounder to second to get him over. Try to hit a ball in the right field gap for a double.
Curveball. Two balls and 2 strikes. Now time is called again. Curveball hit foul, and it remains 2-2. You mentioned it in the open. You can throw that curveball. You really have to be careful with where you throw that curveball.
Yeah, these guys, and again, you know, Albert's a veteran hitter. C.J. Cron's been around a while, and yeah, we talk about it all the time. Now, you know, this is, you know, breaking straight down in the strike zone. It looked like Trout was still trying to hit the ball the other way to get Revere to third base, but you know, you're taught. Kids now are taught that, you know, a breaking ball that's up, don't swing at it. You know, if it's a ball, but man, you know, you put a good swing on it, those things go a long way.
Like that. Out to left center field. Kim is back, and it's over the wall. A 2-run home run for Trout. And the Angels take a 2-0 lead here in the first inning. 21st home run. 49 runs batted in now. See where number 5 is?
Yeah, the previous pitch is down in the strike zone, and then number 6 was elevated just a little bit more. I said it. Those guys, it was just something when I went to the American League, how they just set on breaking balls. It didn't matter who was pitching.
Fly ball to left field. Kim comes running in. And 1 out. Why do you think that is, John? Why do you think there's a difference? Is there anything to it?
I have no idea. It was the weirdest thing, though. And you know, maybe the American. I mean, in the 3 All-Star games I played in, we got annihilated in all 3. So they're doing something right. Maybe they're smarter.
I don't know. Valbuena shows bunt, bunts it foul.
You know, you know, you look at the numbers for Mike Trout, startling what he does with pitches down in the strike zone. And, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a fastball, a changeup, or a breaking ball that he just got right there. You know, it was down, and that's his swing path. I mean, it's scary how good he is.
1 ball and 1 strike on that curve.
Did you think he hit that high enough to get out?
You know what? I did think initially that it was going to hit the top of the wall. I think what was impressive was the exit velocity and how it zipped. How it just zipped out over the wall.
Yeah. That thing left the bat and started just laughing at the humidity.
That's exactly it.
Look at the launch angle. See that nice high finish? Stop it. We've had enough of you.
Yeah, really.
We'd love to have you, though.
Take your 4 hits and your 2 home runs and your 4 RBIs and go to the clubhouse for a meal. Andrelton Simmons takes outside, 1-0.
I did send him a message last night. I said, okay, enough. You know, how are you going to treat your home team? He just sent back a little laugh, ha ha ha, or whatever. Apparently he didn't take it to heart.
Obviously he took offense to it.
Well, maybe I riled him up. Sorry, Jared.
Outside, 2-1. An 11-game hitting streak for Andrelton Simmons. Well, I think both pitchers wanted a couple pitches toward the outer edge. That looked to be a little off the plate, but it's 3-1. Second walk issued by Eichhoff. And now C.J. Cron is coming up.
Here's another guy that really hunted that set on that breaking ball last night against Thompson, and man, was that thing
Yeah, that was the longest home run of the 3.
That was majestic.
What, halfway up the seats out in left field. Ball strike ratio is not that good right now.
You know, the only kind of positive thing you can say right now about is that, you know, bullpen with Garcia and Neris arrested.
Yeah, they used Morgan for 2 last night. Leiter's available again tonight.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Tom. You know, it's the previous 2 games. Nola pitched great. You know, got out of hand after he left the game, but you know, it's not only this game. We got 3 in Colorado where the bullpen is going to get annihilated. You know that. They're going to get used and used and used because most pitchers just don't go deep there. You know, if you have to get, you know, into your bullpen by the 5th or 6th inning tonight, you know, what do you have tomorrow? I don't know if you noticed. Colorado can hit too.
They sure can. Well, he is just missing off this outside part of the plate. Now, he's missing though.
See if they get Simmons rolling here. 3-1.
Thinking he'll get a fastball, he'll swing at it.
I would imagine.
There he goes. Pitches a strike. Throw to second base is not in time. So Simmons steals his 16th bag.
C.J. Cron was taken all the way. You know, they must have something with Eichhoff's move where they know that they can get good jumps. Rivera, of course, left a little early and got a great jump. I mean, that's a great jump. You see him looking in, so Cron had the you know, the ability, if he wanted to swing at that pitch. But I mean, he just stood straight up and took the pitch and let Simmons steal the base.
Yeah,
definitely safe.
And by the time Cesar reached and pulled it back, no chance to get it.
Like you're a hitter. You got power like C.J. Cron, and you're taking a 3-1 pitch. That tells you that they're not concerned whatsoever with secondary pitches from Jared Eichhoff right now.
And that's interesting because I think we consider his curveball as best secondary, as one of the best secondary pitches that we've seen. Third walk of the inning for Eichhoff. Just very unlike him. And he's thrown 28 pitches. Bob McClure heading out to the mound. Bob has told us, I don't like going out in the first inning. He said, well, for a number of reasons, but I just think these younger pitchers have to figure it out on their own. But sometimes when I go out, it's because I see something mechanical. But it's also that I don't want this thing to get out of control. And I think that's the issue right now, is not allowing it to get out of control.
Yeah, you're one hit away here from Coward to having to possibly get out of control. You remember he hit a tracer to left center for a home run in last night's game.
Don't you wish you could watch Phillies baseball while you work? Well, now you can. We won't tell your boss. Just download the NBC Sports app. Download it now and keep up with all things Phillies. Home plate umpires Ben May, Scott Barry is at first, Quinn Walcott at second, and Brian O'Nora is at third. And here is Caleb Cowart. And he takes outside. It's 1-0.
here's another thing: you get Coward out, but you know you could face Trout again, Trout and Pujols again in the second inning.
And Knapp crossed up on that, but was able to pick it up for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, I think Knapp thought this was going to be a fastball away.
Pretty good job of framing it.
Yeah, but you know, wouldn't you think he would go out and tell Eichhoff? Or
unless he realized, oh, I screwed this one up.
Yeah, could be. Assuming that Simmons was going to run. 2 outs. Don't want to make the last out at third. You got a guy at the plate hitting over 400.
Boy, it's almost as if they can see what's coming out.
Yeah, you know, I've had guys tell me that Albert was the best at that, like watching tape, and he picks up just the littlest things. That he's going to throw this pitch. If he does this, he's going to throw this pitch. If he does that.
Wow.
They said he can really pick things up.
Well, he threw a fastball right on by Coward, and that wraps up the first inning. A lot of pitches and a big swing from Mike Trout. He took the curveball and sent it over the fence in left center field. So we'll go to the second, and the Angels on top of the Phillies, 2-0 here in the Big A. Mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Well, the Fighting Faithful, not a whole lot to cheer about these last couple of days, but it's early.
Yep.
Odubel Herrera leads it off.
And Bridwell had to sit for a long time. Gotta look the positive. Rose-colored glasses, baby.
Angels are 8-1 in his starts this year, which lends itself to the reclamation project that he has become. Picked in the 9th round of the 2010 draft by the Orioles, was going to go to Texas Tech to be their quarterback. Now the Orioles paid him $625,000 to sign. I don't think Odubel agreed with that pitch.
Interesting at bat so far for Odubel. He had a take where it looked like by the time he took it, his left foot was in front of his right foot, and he wasn't trying to bunt.
He's trying to distract him. Loops it out to left, and that'll drop in front of Ben Revere. Phillies have their first hit. And here's Maikel Franco. Franco had a terrible night last night. I mean, the Phillies did as a team, but his last couple of at-bats were
first pitch pop-ups.
Yeah. And he's struggling again. I mean, it's been a struggle all year, but he had that burst at home where he was starting to drive in some runs once again. He still is tops on the team in RBIs, but you saw his numbers over this last stretch, well under 200.
It seems like this particular year for Franco, it seems like he gets his RBIs in bunches, and then he goes in a drought, and then he'll get him in bunches, and then he'll go into a drought. Yeah, and again, they've been trying to do it with his approach at home plate, just the consistency.
0-2.
You know, every player in the big leagues is talented. To me, it's the ones who you can count on day in and day out to have those consistent at bats. You know, those are the guys that separate themselves from the pack, really.
Out toward left center field. Ben Revere on the run, and he'll run it down. That ball looked like it was knuckling out to left center field.
Yeah, looked like Maikel hit that off the end of the bat. Didn't look like he hit it well at all. Maybe it's carrying to left center today. That's the thing. Another speed guy in the outfield for the Angels. Ben Revere, we know, can run. Mike Trout, of course, can fly.
Yeah, and Maven's out there a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of, and when Calhoun gets back, you know, you got some outfielders who can go get him.
Nick Williams sat out last night. He was under the weather, and he pulls that one. Wow, look at Mickey jumping. That hip's going to be bothering him for a few days.
He's going to have an ice pack after between innings.
Still spry after all these years. A little creaky, but still spry.
Yeah, he's got to lube the joints up every once in a while. A little oil change.
Fly ball center field. Trout on the run, back toward the wall. He jumps, and did he get it? Let's see. He did not get it. A two-run home run for Nick Williams, and we're tied up at 2. Fifth home run for Nick Williams, 21 RBIs.
Oh, I thought he had that.
I thought he did too. And it makes a winner out of Timothy Grant of East Hampton, who's just won $300 in the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Ball running away from Nick, and he went out and got it. I mean, that was close.
Off his glove.
Might have. Oh no.
Yeah, I have to admit, I looked at him, and then I looked at the umpire, and then I looked at Trout walking away from the fence.
Oh, we talked about it. You know, Trout's line drive to left center. The ball Franco hit, we didn't think he hit it well at all, and it almost carried to the warning track, and then Nick hits that fly ball to left center field. It goes out. There must be a nice little jet stream blowing out that way.
5 home runs, 21 RBIs, as Kim takes it outside. I think that hit off his glove.
I think it did too. I think, and knowing him, he's probably upset he didn't catch it.
And a line drive off Simmons into shallow right field. Got to imagine that's a base hit.
Wow, that ball was hit, man. Look how close he gets to this thing. I think it did.
It hit off the tip of his glove. Well, the last couple of nights.
That's the thumb that had surgery. It looked like it hit the thumb of his glove. That's the one that had surgery too, right? Left hand from sliding.
Yep.
Did they give that a hit?
They did. 3 hits of the inning now for the Phils. Andrew Knapp, the hitter. And he takes strike 1. It's 0-1. That's the curveball John was talking about. It is his best pitch.
Yeah, that was a good one there. Had a lot of break to it and great location.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Maybe we're due for one of these, huh? You know, a guy, hot pitcher, come in and, you know, we need one of those, you know, 8-2 games.
Amen to that. And we need to beat one of these guys that comes in with a, you know, a lesser reputation.
There.
Well, Knapp's down looking. Fastball right down the chute. First strikeout for Bridwell. And Cesar Hernandez is coming up to the plate. Bridwell made his major league debut last year for the Baltimore Orioles against the Washington Nationals. And the day after he made his debut, he gave up a grand slam to Daniel Murphy. The next day, in August, he was sent down with the anticipation that he'd be brought back up in September. It didn't happen. He did get a playoff share, though. And then wound up here with the Angels. And while with the Orioles, you know, he said that he would throw 70% fastballs. They wanted him to throw his 4-seamer. Just keep on throwing it. Came here to the Angels. They said, "No, we don't want you to throw it that much. We want you to cut it in half."
Yeah, I don't understand that. You know, it's not like he's throwing 98.
2-1 to Cesar.
Didn't Jake Arrieta say he had that issue? They wanted him to change because he threw across his body, and
Correct.
They wanted him to change, and when he went to the Cubs, they kind of just said, you know, be yourself.
Yeah, go throw some no-hitters. Line drive down the right field line for Cesar.
Don't bounce in the seats.
That's a fair ball, and it's going to slip right over the fence and into the seats. So that means Kim will stop at third. It's got to bounce so close to that wall so it doesn't go into the seats. Well, that's the 12th double for Cesar.
Cost us a run too. 2 outs. Kim would have scored on that ball. Yeah, I mean, if he hits it 2 feet shorter or 4 feet longer,
right,
he'll hit the wall. Come on, Cesar, you got to measure that out better than that.
All right, well, Galvis is up now, and Freddie's got a chance with a base hit to drive in a couple. Your best arm is in center.
He's a slight guy for going to college to play football.
It's true. 6'4", listed at 185 pounds. And he's probably not much more than that.
If he's that.
He was a three-sport athlete in high school. Football, he was a quarterback. Basketball, he was a shooting guard. And then, of course, baseball. Baseball was the third of his sports. Football being the main one. That's why he was going to go to Texas Tech to be a quarterback. Freddie fouls it. In fact, there were 2 years. I think that ball got a piece of Martin Maldonado near his elbow. Oh, yeah. Above that wrap, too.
I think like the umpire didn't want to give him much time, but Freddie did. There's always one way to solve that problem.
That would be nice.
No, we don't condone that stuff.
Freddie serves it down the left field line. So 2 different minor league seasons for Bridwell. He called his dad up at the All-Star break and said, I think I'm done. I think I'm going to try to find a football team that I can walk onto. And every time his dad said, give yourself another week or two. He did, and he obviously stayed with the rest of the season because that would take you to August. And the minor league season was pretty much over at that point. Another month left, and the preseason for college football was just getting underway.
Didn't Chris Winkie do that? When he playing baseball and couldn't make it? And
yeah, Chris Winkie
went back to Florida State.
Yep. And then the kid from Oklahoma State that was drafted in the first round by the Cleveland Browns, Brendan Whedon. He also was a baseball player in the Yankees organization.
Tell you, there's a lot who've tried baseball and decided to go back to another sport. Danny Ainge, you know, John Elway. I guess we can throw him in there. He went to the Yankees, but I think we had a feeling what that one was about.
Drew Henson, who
yeah,
was with the Yankees organization and of course played at the University of Michigan and eventually played for the Cowboys, among other teams.
Tim Tebow's trying to do the opposite.
He had another home run the other night. Inside to Freddie Galvis. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pretty good pace to this game, though. I'd like to take a lot longer. Freddie gets a base hit right here. About a grounder to the second base umpire.
Just foul down the first base line. Runs outside, 2-2. Freddie lines it to right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Hernandez. The throw to the plate cut off. It's a 2-run single, and the Phils have a 4-run second inning on top, 4-2. Galvis with his 45th and 46th RBIs of the season.
Boy, Freddie. Yeah, that's good answer back.
Charles Nagy out to talk to the young right-hander. Oh, it is a good answer back considering how much the Phils had struggled. Outscored 14-1 in this series.
You look at all the pitches, they're, you know, one in way off the plate, but the rest of them were middle away. Maldonado wanted that one more in than he got it. Freddie said, I'll handle this one. Your arm hurts. You just got hit with a foul tip. I'll take care of this one.
Beautiful 10-pitch at bat.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Nick Williams' 2-run home run tied it. Now Freddie Galvis' 2-run base hit has given the Phils the lead.
I'd like to see Aaron be aggressive here early. He's been taking first pitch fastballs too much.
Check swing. That's going to wind up being a base hit. Valbuena bare hands. Oh, he makes a nice play. 5-3 on the putout. Phillies score 4 in the inning, including 2 on Nick Williams' home run to center field. Just out of the reach of Mike Trout. Freddie Galvis then gave the Phils the lead, so we go to the bottom of the second. Phils up 2. Contribution to the Help Our Kids Radiothon, benefiting the Nemours Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children. You can find out more at nemours.org/radiothon. Bottom of the second, Martin Maldonado will lead it off for the Angels. Maldonado is 2 for 8 in this series. And a first pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Maldonado 240 with 11 home runs, 30 RBIs. Tapper foul.
Another one we forgot, Russell Wilson. Did he get drafted by Texas?
Texas, yep. Ricky Williams played for the Phils.
Yeah, I talked to Ricky about his baseball experience.
How did he feel about it?
Said he couldn't hit the breaking ball.
Swing and a miss.
Be a nice inning for Jared to get in and out quick.
That curveball looked pretty tight right there.
Yeah, that was a nice one. That was. Yeah, that's the location you want. I'd like to see it a little more away maybe, but just the depth of the break was got Maldonado to swing over top of it.
Flores 0 for 6 in this series so far.
We might see Cole Calhoun today.
Yeah, they had said that the target was today's game. He took batting practice. There's Cole Calhoun. Way outside, 2-1.
See if the bat boy does a Wimbledon thing.
There he goes.
Yep.
Line drive, base hit for Flores. Ben Revere's coming up. Sunday, August 13th, will the Phillies take on the New York Mets. That's a 1:35 first pitch. The Topps Wall of Fame card pack will be given out free to all fans. Visit Phillies.com for more information. Here's a look at a couple of those cards. John Kruk, Juan Samuel, Charlie Manuel.
They're pretty dapper fellows right there. Huh?
Yes, they are. Just trying to figure out what years all those were. You had your mullet going pretty good at that point.
I'd say it's been a while ago. Can't give you an exact number.
Well, I guess you and Gubigs are going to grow them back for next year.
Yeah, he keeps talking about it. We had a nice little discussion about it again today.
Fly ball to center field. Odubel misjudged it for a moment, couldn't see it, and now throws back toward first, and Flores scampers back.
I wonder if he couldn't see it, or he was trying to get Flores to take off.
I don't know, but Freddie Galvis thought there was trouble because he was sprinting out.
Well, yeah, of course you do. When like he's laughing, like, what's Freddie doing running all the way out here? Because as soon as he caught it, he came up throwing to first immediately. So usually when a guy can't see it, you know, there's panic that you caught it. Like, there's some relief. I mean, but watch him when he catches it. I mean, he comes right up throwing to first base without even thinking.
I don't know.
Now, as soon as that ball went up, he waved his hands like, I can't find it. So Freddie goes out there on a dead sprint.
And then Odubel laughs at him.
Yeah. Maybe he should have let Freddie in on the, you know, if there's someone on first in twilight like this, I'm going to deke him.
Line drive down the left field line, foul. This is what Mike Trout did in the first inning to give the Angels the lead.
Yeah, line drive double that happened to go over the fence, and not by a little bit either. I mean, that's just, well, we've talked about it. He's just different than anyone on the field.
Turned 26 years old later on this week.
Yeah, I think I was a rookie at 25 or 26, I think. He's already got 2 MVPs under his belt.
I think that's the thing that stands out about, you know, he's drafted late in the first round. It's not an oddity for a first rounder to come up early, but you know, to come up as quickly as he did, not picked 1 overall or 2 overall. And he's 25th overall. But 19 years old, and he played 40 games in the big leagues.
I remember watching A-Rod take batting practice at 19 years old. He got called up to Seattle. I thought that was like, I mean, Lou Piniella, I talked to Lou a lot about him. Said he's going to be different than most you've ever seen. And I got the same thing out of Mike Scioscia.
Three and two on a high fastball.
I mean, you see it. I mean, Jared's thrown him a couple fastballs. One he checked swung. The other looked like a little late on him, fouled it the other way. It's like they're spoiling fastballs to get the breaking ball or anything off speed.
Runner goes, pitches high, ball 4. Walk number 3 for Eichhoff. And now Pujols with runners on first and second. So a single by Flores, the walk to Trout, the 4th for Eichhoff. And now Pujols with runners on first and second.
It's good. It'd be a huge out. Jared can get Albert out here. You get your team back in. You went through Trout and Pujols hopefully without giving up a run.
Slider, and it's 0-1 on the outside corner.
Which hasn't happened much in this series so far.
Bouncer 0-2.
That big old, I don't know what that is, neoprene sleeve or something that
he can wear it in an Eagles game this winter.
Keep him from exposing that thumb when he slides.
I don't know how comfortable it is. I don't know how uncomfortable it is.
Well, it's just like a sleeve. It's like a neoprene thing you put over your hand so your thumb can't extend out. Now, I'm certain he can't slide head first, because how would he grab onto the base? And I'm sure the Angels have said, let's knock that off and slide feet first because we need you.
Foul ball down the left field line, off the facing of the auxiliary scoreboard. And it remains 0-2. Well, he has said he doesn't want to slide feet first, but they would probably like him to do it. But he did slide head first yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sure that they hold their breath every time he does too.
First game back from his injury, he slid head first. He's got a huge walking lead off first, and that got the hand of Andrew Knapp. He just asked for Sean Ficasny or Scott Sheridan to come out. So Scott's going to run out. Pete's going to come in as well. And he just lets the home plate umpire know, Pete, that this is not a trip to the mound.
Yeah, with runners on base, you can't get that hand behind you to protect it. Look where that thing hit, right off the knuckles. Man, look at his knuckles, how they're exposed.
Ooh,
that got him clean.
Well, the fact that he signaled for somebody to come out.
Yeah, that
Cameron Rupp getting himself stretched out. Cameron got hit in the groin yesterday and needed a few minutes. He said he finally said to Brian Honoria, he said, listen, it's not going to get any better. Let's just continue on. Well, he's going to try to continue.
Yeah, let's hope he throws a couple just to see.
The other part of it is gripping the bat.
Yeah, that's his bottom hand hitting left-handed. It's a tough one.
He's coming out. I figure they've got to get ice and an X-ray on it. I mean, it's already bruised up. So the Phils will go to their backup catcher of the night. That's Cameron Rupp. So Cameron will get himself geared up. Knapp will go back and get that hand looked at.
I wonder if they have an X-ray machine here. Do you have to wait to get to Denver?
I would think all teams have one.
Even the older ballparks, probably.
Yeah, I think they're able. I mean, I think that most of them, and I don't know this for sure, but most of them probably have put them in. Apparently, there's a radiology room right next to the Angels clubhouse. John, the game has changed since you played.
Yeah, I bet it's a good thing. I know there's a couple times I had to go to Jefferson Hospital.
Wasn't there time that, you know, when you were with the Padres where you went to the hospital in full uniform after running into Mike Scioscia? And you got back to the ballpark and they had left you?
The team had left and I had to take a taxi back from L.A. to San Diego.
They didn't just leave you to go back to the hotel. They left you to go to another city.
Yeah.
To go home.
Took a taxi. Wasn't cheap.
Who paid for that?
Randy Reddy. Well, I had to get money from him, but I didn't have that much money. I stopped at his house because I couldn't go to my house because I lived by myself. I couldn't walk. So his boys took care of me. You know, they were like my nurses in this whole deal. And you know, they nursed me back to health, and Randy came out and told him, I said, man, you got to pay the guy. But it was like 3 in the morning.
How much was it? 300?
Yeah, it was 300 or better.
All right, so you run into Scioscia, you go get your leg stitched up, you get back to the ballpark, and how do you, I mean, you walk in the clubhouse saying, hey, where did everybody go?
Yeah, everyone was gone. Like, wow, at least they took my bag. But yeah, I rode home. My clothes were there, so I changed clothes, and it was great. Great experience.
Who was your skipper at the time? He wasn't waiting for anybody.
No, it wasn't Larry.
Oh, it wasn't Larry?
No.
Jack McKeon?
Yeah.
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 And so it goes.
It's just, well, I mean, that, you know, that old adage, if there's writing on the wall.
Yeah.
That was spray painted, covered up with epoxy to make sure it stayed.
Off to Philadelphia you go, eventually.
Yep. And I love San Diego. Don't get me wrong, but man, I was so excited.
1 and 2, runners on first and second. 2 outs here at the bottom of the second. Curveball waved at, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Eichhoff. He leaves a couple. We'll leave for the third with the Phillies on top 4-2 over the Angels.
in the clubhouse every day to, see a future Hall of Famer next to you. And I tell a lot of people this. He's an unbelievable baseball player, but an awesome person off the field. He's got a great family, great wife, great kids, and we see him every day. And like I said, he'll do anything for you. Call him any time of the day, any time of the night. He'll pick up, and he's just a great person.
Well, guys, that was part of my conversation yesterday with Mike Trout, talking about Albert Pujols. Their relationship off the field is just as strong as it is on the field. It's very interesting when you stop to think about all that Albert Pujols accomplished over his baseball career. And then Mike Trout comes along and starts doing almost the exact same thing. We showed the numbers at the beginning of the program today. They have been very, very similar players at the beginning of their career. And it's, it's very interesting that they are two guys that can relate to one another, perhaps better than anybody else, because they understand what the other one either went through or is going through. And, I thought it was also interesting that Mike didn't talk too much about Albert's baseball playing career. He talked more about Albert the person and just how close they were. But you got to believe that Mike Trout benefits from having Albert Pujols on this team. And, John, I'm sure you had teammates that kind of understood what you were going through as a young player, and they really kind of have walked lockstep through Mike Trout's early part of his career.
Yeah, but I got lucky with Tony Gwynn to have that kind of mentor, teach you how to play the right way. Tony went so far in depth with me to teach me how to take batting practice, and there's an art to it, according to him, and it served him really, really well, and it served me well too.
Did you find out that there was an art to it, or was it just an art for him?
I just thought you just went out and swung and got your swings in, and got ready for the game. He always talked about, working your hand. He always called it chicken wing. Chicken wing. Flip balls to left field. First round or two, flip everything to left field.
Well, I think the mentorship is huge for any of these young players. He even had Torrey Hunter here when he initially came up, and he talked about how Torrey off the field and even on the field helped make him a better player. Inside, 3-1.
Guys, kudos to Mike Trout too for recognizing that as talented of a player as he was from the get-go, rookie of the year in his first year, it says a lot about the guy that he knew enough to sit back and listen to a guy like Torrey Hunter or listen to a guy like Albert Pujols, knowing that I may be a pretty good player, but there's still a lot to learn in this game, and he's still probably learning from those kinds of guys as he continues on early in his career.
I read one of the stories that Torrey Hunter was talking about Mike Trout, and said that Mike's mom and dad raised him perfectly. They said he said that they need a lot of the credit for how good of a person he has become as a man. There's Maikel Franco, who flied out to left field his first time up. 0 for his last 9. And he lifts that one out to shallow center field. But Trout wanders in, makes the catch, 2 outs. Nick Williams, who homered his first time up, comes up against Parker Bridwell. Well, this is Nick Williams' swing in the second inning.
Out over the plate. He's got that same kind of Mike Trout swing, at uppercut, launch angle type of deal. And boy, we thought Trout caught that one too. But thank goodness he didn't.
They'll change the entire complexion of that second inning. Phillies went on to score 4 in the second on 5 hits. Outside with the first pitch, 1 ball, no strikes. Outside again, 2-0.
I would sit in the dugout with Greg Nettles
Yeah, you've mentioned Greg Nettles a lot,
and Greg
too.
was unbelievable at, by the second hitter of the game, he could tell you every pitch the guy was going to throw.
And when he would throw it?
Yeah, but he picked something up with them. Like they do something if they throw their breaking ball. It might be the smallest of things that you don't even consider, and he had it. He got him so quickly.
Three balls, one strike to Nick Williams. Hyun-Soo Kim in the on-deck circle. Greg Murphy watching out, making sure everything's okay. Three and two. So Odubel will be off and running. Crone is going to play behind the runner at first. He wants it down and away. That one pitch that was called a strike earlier in the at bat, if you look at PitchCast, it was not a strike. Runner goes, and a pitch lined to left field at Revere. And Revere takes care of it. No runs, no hits, and one man left as Odubel's left on the base paths. We move on to the bottom of the third. It's the Phillies 4, the Angels 2. Be a question, log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, John, the question is, who holds the Angels record for most home runs in a season? Who holds the Angels record for most home runs in a season? Answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Well, they have had their share of power hitters here in this ballpark. They have two right now. You saw one the other day, yesterday. Tim Salmon was here.
Might go give it I got it right. No help.
Yeah, you did.
No help.
You went right past Tim Salmon. If I had left Tim Salmon's name out, would you have chose him?
No, I knew he'd hit a lot, but I remember this guy was like, he had one of those years. It was just, everything he hit seemed to go out.
0-2 to Valbuena, who grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Curveball, and he went around, says the home plate umpire. Valbuena was not happy with the previous pitch and now disgusted that he didn't ask for help. Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by McDonald's. Enjoy an ice cold, delicious soft drink for only $1. I'm loving it. 4 strikeouts for Jared Eichhoff. He has 4 walks as well. And Andrelton Simmons, who has one of those walks, is the hitter.
Knock on wood, Jared's command's gotten a little better since that first inning. Pitch count's still really high.
1-2. They have 58 pitches through 2 innings. And now this will be the 65th pitch overall. A hanging curveball, but Simmons floats it out to right for Altair. Pitches by inning. Let us hope that he doesn't get anywhere close to what he did in the first 2 innings.
Well, if he gets 25 pitches in this inning, there's going to be some bullpen help, I would think.
Here's C.J. Cron, who also walked his first time up. Outside, 3-0. Caleb Cowart waits on deck. Liner out to left field. Kim got a late start, but is there. Makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Jared Eichhoff. We play 3. We'll move on to the 4th inning. The Phillies lead the Angels 4-2. Dunkin' Donuts K-Cup pods. That's right. Get your Dunkin' Donuts K-Cup pods from W.B. Mason at great prices. Who but W.B. Mason? Hyun-Soo Kim will lead it off. He singled his first time up off Andrelton Simmons. It'll be Kim Rupp And then the top of the order. Kim takes a high breaking ball. And it's 1 ball, no strikes.
Been a couple guys that don't seem to agree with the strike zone tonight.
Yeah, I think he's leaning toward a low strike zone the way it seems. I think we were spoiled the last couple of nights with the 2 umpires. I thought they both did a nice job. I'm not saying that Ben May is not, but there's certainly conflict. At least the body language shows that. 2-2. Do you think it's amazing, though, the difference in hitting styles from the United States to South Korea and Japan? I mean, this is a big guy, and you would think that he would hit the baseball, the way some of the power hitters here in the States would hit it. But he has a lot of the same tendencies. That leg kick and sweeping the bat through the zone, a little different angle.
Balance. The balance isn't very good, but it works for them, and that's what for Ichiro and
he's out on his front foot in a lot of ways. Hideki Matsui looked like that sometimes, but he had more of a traditional power hitting swing.
And that's the thing, if you're a guy like Kim who's yet to prove you could be an established big league player, you see that he got out on that front foot early, but then he started leaning. His body started leaning over that front foot. And, he has yet to prove himself at the major league level. So I'm sure there's teams looking at it, it's like, he'll never hit like that.
Cameron Rupp up for the first time.
Matsui and Ichiro were proven commodities.
It is interesting that he's going through almost that same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no balls and 2 strikes to Rupp.
I don't know what Kim's numbers were in Korea, but everyone thought Ichiro could be a star over here. And
Cameron Rupp down looking on strikes. He takes the cutter. That's 3 strikeouts for Bridwell. Sunday, August 27th, the Phillies will take on the Chicago Cubs. It's a 1:35 first pitch. It's also ShopRite Back to School Day at Citizens Bank Park, and all youngsters 14 and under will get the Back to School alarm clock featuring the Philly Fanatic. Tickets are on sale now by going to Phillies.com. 1 ball, no strikes to Cesar. Outside, 3-0. Ball 4. Hernandez walks.
Shortstop, number 13.
3 walks issued by Bridwell tonight. I don't know if Mike Scioscia's mad at the pitcher or if he's mad at the home plate umpire, but he looks like he's mad.
I think Bridwell thought he had a couple pitches in that at bat to Caesar. Yeah, Mike can let him know. You can hear him pretty well down there.
The toss over. Freddie has walked. He's also singled home 2 runs. His last at bat was a 10-pitch at bat.
And a 2 RBI single too, which was nice.
Three balls, no strikes. Well, he's got that same spot against these last couple of hitters. 6-3 ball counts. Freddie taking all the way.
You got to wonder here if Cesar's going to take off. I would think he is.
He does not go, and it's 3-2. Now he'll be off.
I bet he does. Yeah. Pretty good chance. Although
he's better at it now.
We've seen it not happen before.
Cesar not being held on. Watched closely by Crone. He goes, and Galvis lines it out to center field. Trout going back. He's under it. And the Phillies are retired here in the 4th inning. They leave 1 base runner. We have played 3.5. We'll move on to the bottom of the 4th inning. Cowart will lead it off with the Angels down 2. Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Yellowwood, brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Here at Anaheim, they most recently hosted the All-Star game when Charlie Manuel was the skipper of the National League squad. It's a ballpark that opened in the 60s but had a clean renovation in the late 90s. $100 million in renovation, and they've renovated it more since, but they turned it into a football baseball stadium to just strictly a baseball stadium. Aesthetically, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing what they did with this one, and Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, how they transformed that one from basically a cookie cutter stadium like Veterans Stadium and Three Rivers in Pittsburgh. And
well, they still average a pretty good number despite the fact that they're not in the race, although they're only 2 under 500 right now.
And they're only, what, 3 out of the wild card?
Yeah, they're within reach. Two balls and 1 strike to Caleb Cowart, and he lines it into right field. That'll be a base hit. Aaron Altair cuts it off before it gets to the wall, then bobbles it. And Cowart will pull into second base with his 4th double of the year. I'll tell you, Aaron is not running all that well. I mean, comparatively speaking. Kind of saw it earlier on his little dribbler up the third base line. But even the way he went after that one, although he stopped okay, or slowed himself down okay.
Yeah, he doesn't look right after that swing and bunt. Oh, Larry Bowe's trying to get Maikel Franco's. I don't know if he thinks maybe Maldonado might bunt.
Looked like he moved him over toward the line another step too. Maldonado had 2 doubles in last night's ball game. 1 went right past Maikel. That's hit well out to left center field. Kim on the run. So is Odubel. Back to the fence. Odubel jumps and he makes the catch. What a great play by Herrera. Over to third base goes Cowart. And what a way here in the 4th inning.
I believe Maldonado thought he got that one, the way he stood up on it and took a few walking steps and tossed the bat aside. But yeah, say what you want. There's a lot of things that he does that can disturb people, but he has played a tremendous center field for the Phillies this season, and another great play right here. Yeah, that'd have been close.
Yeah. It either would have hit the top or skimmed right on over.
Yeah, but I mean, Maldonado, when Maldonado hit it, I thought, oh boy, we're tied. But he stood there, watched it. They're going to appeal second base here to see if Cowart left early.
Now the first base umpire, Scott Barry, on the rotation had the call, and he signals safe. See the height of the ball and where the glove is, and watch the glove come down. Boy, it would have been close.
It would have been really close, yeah.
Flores singled his first time up. Outside, 1-0.
Like the Phillies are, unless it's a grounder to third base, they're conceding, or back to the pitcher, they're conceding this run.
Cameron Rupp in there for the injured Andrew Knapp. Knapp was hit with a foul ball earlier in this game. Two and one. Out to right field. Altair is going to get to it. Tagging from third is Cowart. It'll be a sac fly, and it's now a 4-3 ball game. Ben Revera's coming up. Let's go to Greg Murphy. You got an update on Andrew Knapp there, Murph?
Yeah, a little bit of an update. Obviously left the game after that ball. It appeared to get his right hand pretty good. He is, we're being told he has a right hand contusion right now, and more of an update probably coming up after the game, but right hand contusion for Andrew Knapp.
All right. Thank you, Murph. Appreciate that. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with Knapp's hand. Beyond the contusion. As Eichhoff slips as he lets that one go, 1-0.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, you know, you hate to say it, but you know, if there's, you got to get on the horn right now. If you think that he can't play in 4 or 5 days, you know, you got to get on the horn right now and get a catcher up here.
I just gave the same update here in the press box.
Yeah, you can't go to Colorado with one catcher.
Yeah, with Andres Blanco as the backup. Line drive center field. Here comes Herrera, and he makes the catch coming in. The Angels do get a run on the sacrifice fly by Flores. On to the 5th inning. The Phillies lead is down to 1 with Altair due to lead it off. You deserve podcasts that are always talking your teams. Well, you're in luck. Check out CSN Podcasts and take your fandom to the next level. Subscribe and download it on Apple, Google Play, or csnphilly.com. Aaron Altair leads it off here in the top of the 5th inning. Phillies up 4-3. Bridwell begins the inning with 84 pitches.
Someone up in the bullpen for the Angels, that is.
Looks like Cam Bedrosian.
Yeah.
It is Bedrosian. He's been up in all 3 games now. We have not seen him yet. And Altair strikes out. Tommy Joseph's coming up. Let's check back in with Greg Murphy with our cold hard fact. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Brought to you by you. Clean, crisp Coors Light. I'll get that out. Most consecutive seasons managing a team. And there you see Mike Scioscia's on that list. 18 years here in L.A. Connie Mack, 50 years. I don't think that record's ever going to be broken, guys. Waller Alston, Tom Lasorda, Bobby Cox on the list as well. But Scioscia's had a very nice run here in Anaheim.
It's an incredible run. And you know what? It's along the lines with, you know, his former manager, Tommy Lasorda. I mean, nobody thought that anybody would come close to Walter Alston, but Tommy did. And now Scioscia, 18, and I don't think he's looking back at all. He's probably here. I don't think 20's out of the question for him.
Nope.
Tommy Joseph bounces one into the hole at shortstop and to left field. One out single.
Conversations with Mike, he's buying into some of the shifting and the sabermetric stuff. Not I would say he's not buying in at all, but he's he understands their place in the game. He understands that it's necessary. The numbers don't really lie, some of these things, but yet he still has that instincts. So when you can put those two together, you got a pretty good manager.
Yeah, some people thought prior to his last contract that he would move on somewhere else, kind of like Bruce Bochy did with the Padres, moving on to the Giants, something like that. But there's the means to win here. I mean, there's certainly the money to win. Plus, he's made Southern California his second home for all these years, playing for the Dodgers. To Odubel.
Tell you what, Odubel's had some for a base hit and a walk. He's had some interesting approaches at some of these pitches.
Would you throw that in there too?
Well, I think that was survival. I don't know why he's looking at Valbuena, though.
Well, because Valbuena wants them to appeal whether Odubel swung at that or not.
According to the rules.
The bat did helicopter a little bit. 1-2 to Herrera. By drive, diving stop by Cowart to second for one, over to first. He picked it on one hop and he doubled up Odubel Herrera. So much for being a third baseman playing second. That is a fantastic defensive play on a hot shot off the bat of Odubel Herrera. We move to the bottom of the fifth. The Phils lead it 4-3. the official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, Reading defeated Harrisburg 6-1. Drew Stankiewicz hit a 2-run home run. Clearwater defeated Palm Beach. Cornelius Randolph, a double and 2 more RBIs. Lakewood defeated Hagerstown 5-4. And Williamsport defeated Batavia 2-1. Adam Hazley had an RBI single in that ball game.
Big inning here for ICOP with Trout leading off and Pujols coming up with a 1-run lead.
Well, Trout homered his first time up. He walked in the second. Up high. Out to right field, Aaron Altair. He'll make the one-handed grab. 1 out.
Well, so far, a good start. Got a feeling we still need to score some more runs.
I would think that you're right on with that one.
Yeah, I don't think Pete wants Luis going for 2 and Hector going for 2.
At the knees. One and one. Popped up outside of first and into the crowd. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball waved at. Good pitch from Eichhoff. That's his 5th strikeout. There are 2 outs. Oh, there it is.
They got him the last time on a breaking ball, struck him out. Got him again there.
Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Freddie Galvis behind the second base bag takes care of Valbuena. And there you go. 1-2-3 inning for Jared Eichhoff. Nothing in the books for the Angels. 5 in the books overall. And to the 6th inning, Franco will lead it off. the week has returned from the DL and provided the spark the Phils lineup is needed. Since returning midway through July, Hernandez has been on base at a clip at above 400. Once on base, he has found his way around the diamond, helping the Phils cash in on offense. In his first 14 games back, the Phils were 9-5. He walked 7 times, stole 4 bases, and scored 12 runs. Cesar is needed to fuel the fire. He's done so. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, we go to the top of the 6th inning. Cesar for the Phillies tonight has scored a run. He has a double and a walk. Cam Bedrosian is going to be the new pitcher for the Angels. He'll take over here in the 6th inning. Bedrosian, the son of Steve Bedrosian, the former Philly. 2-2 with a 4.64 earned run average.
Former Cy Young winner for the Phillies.
That's right.
And one of the funnier men you'll ever meet.
On and off the field or just off the field?
Off, yeah. On, he was a pretty competitive man, as you can imagine.
I can imagine. Well, Bedrosian takes over Parker Bridwell, who goes 5 innings tonight. Bridwell allowed 6 Phillies hits, including the home run to Nick Williams.
I remember speaking to him when Cam first got called up to the big leagues, and he didn't know how to contain himself. He was so nervous. And
well, Bedrosian, a former #1 pick for these Angels. And Michael Franco leads it off and bounces the first pitch out to shortstop. Andrelton Simmons throws him out. Michael 0 for 3 tonight and 0 for 11. 0 for his last 11. And here's Nick Williams, who with his 2-run home run, his first time up, which brought home Odubel Herrera, he is now tied for the top spot in RBIs for rookies since the 1st of July.
wow.
21.
Counts Cody Bellinger too, doesn't it?
It does.
Seems like he hits a homer every night.
Yeah, Bell from the Pirates has 21.
Yeah.
Gurriel has 20.
Well, we saw Josh Bell in spring training. He looked awful.
He did.
Oh, that bell rung though, literally.
Off the front of the dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a base hit into left field. Right past Valbuena. Revere gets to it at the line. Williams hustling all the way, and he is able to get to second base. That's his 5th double of the year and his 2nd extra base hit of the night.
Well, it's Mickey Morandini was helping Nick a little bit come around first, but we all know Ben Revere does not have a strong throwing arm whatsoever. And, you know, you talk about, you know, giving Mickey the option right here, but watch Nick Williams. As soon as this ball leaves the bat, he drops it and he's off at full speed. Valbuena way off the line off of Nick, and you know, I mean, that ball wasn't like it was like down the line, and but Mickey was telling him, you know, go, go, go. You ran hard out of the box. You gave him a chance, gave yourself a chance to get to second base.
Now let's see if Kim can get him in. Kim is 1 for 2. He scored a run earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, it's sad and disappointing sometimes. We have to mention that a guy
That's true.
played the game the right way.
But I think we've said this time and again since he's been brought up. The hustle for Nick Williams, it stands out.
Yep.
It's so evident with everything he does. And I have to say, we didn't see him last year at all. We just, you know, read about the benchings and the attitude and stuff like that. I don't think we've seen any of that in 2017.
Well, the man wants to stay in the big leagues. And, you know, you hope it becomes contagious to his teammates.
Fly ball center field. Trout on the run back to the track. And he makes the catch. Two outs. Rupp's coming up. Chicago Cubs are coming to town for a 3-game series. It begins Friday, August 25th, and it culminates on Sunday, the 27th, with the ShopRite Back to School alarm clock. Free to kids 14 and under. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com.
Come on, Cameron.
Cameron's 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the 4th inning.
Doesn't look like Cam Bedrosian has a feel for that secondary pitch. He's bounced a couple. Got Cameron here. I'm looking fastball, and if he throws it in the strike zone, you got to let this one go. As far as swing, you got to let it fly.
He lets it go on the outside part of the plate. Pedroia, when he first came up in 2014, he made 5 trips back and forth between the major leagues and the minor leagues that year. He knew the route from Salt Lake to Anaheim. Another fastball, 2-2. Career pitching numbers for Bedrosian.
Not sure.
Got to pull the trigger there, huh?
I'm out. I would assume you would like to hit that pitch.
Lays off. Cesar's on deck. Runner goes from second. Pitch is fouled back. Nick Williams is looking at Juan Samuel right now.
And
he
Sammy
just put his hands out. Yeah, he said, no, don't go.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty easy sign to decipher. I'm at a loss. This has just been a whole weird at bat. I mean, taking fastballs and 3-2, 2 outs, runner on second, take off.
Swing and a miss. Rupp strikes out for the 2nd time. Phillies leave one in scoring position. They've left 5 runners so far in tonight's ball game. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, they're holding on to a 1-run lead. To you by your local Chevrolet dealers. By Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF-NOW or visit jeffersonhealth.org. And by Nissan. Shop, choose Nissan.com. Oh, a nice night here in Southern California. The Phillies will head out to Denver after this ball game is over. Jared Eichhoff is heading into the 6th inning. Last outing he went 5, allowed 5 hits and 3 runs. Time before that he went 6. Actually, both times before that he went 6 innings.
The Phillies have double barrel action up in their bullpen. 2 righties. Interesting.
Adebray Ramos and Terrian. Oh man, Rupp just got hit on the backswing from Andrelton Simmons as he fouls that one over the third base dugout. Again, Andres Blanco is the emergency catcher.
That got him. Just looked like he just hit the side of his mask, but Andres was out warming up Eichhoff between innings because Cameron made the last out, so I guess he's ready. Oof.
Nick Williams chatting with Matt Stairs. They talk a lot. Curveball hit foul past Ron Renicky.
I know Nick got double teamed by both Juan Samuel and Mickey Morandini after the inning when he was running off. I mean, right past the first base coach's box. They didn't even wait to get in the dugout.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
I would think he maybe thought someone was on first.
I thought about that myself. That that crossed his mind. Line drive caught by Tommy Joseph. One out here in the 6th inning. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Answer. So the question one more time is, who holds the Angels record for most home runs in a season? And Johnny?
Troy Glaus.
Troy Glaus is correct. He had 47 back in 2000. It was one of his 2 40 home run years. For the Angels, he was a 3-time All-Star. Crone hits one way up there. And Odubel Herrera makes the catch a couple steps on the track. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Troy Glaus finished with 320 career home runs.
When did all this start? I promised myself I was going to let things go. Today's player, whatever you want to call it.
What are you talking about? Swinging at the first pitch?
No. Oh, no, I don't care about that. But fly balls to the outfield, and the guys aren't even getting to first base before they just shut it down. So if they drop it, which 99 out of 100 times they're not going to drop it, but if they drop it and you're standing there on first base, don't you look like kind of ridiculous?
Yes, you do.
And it's not that hard. You're going to get a rest. If he catches it, you'll get a rest.
So you don't think it happened during your time?
I know it did. It just seems like it happens a lot now.
I think it has become more prevalent the last several years. Out toward left field. Kim on the run, hustling, and he makes the catch. Jared Eichhoff has retired 9 straight since the double by Cowart. That was an 8-pitch 6th inning. He settled in. 6 innings for Eichhoff. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. The Phillies down 2-0 going into the second, scored 4 times. Nick Williams hit a 2-run home run. Jared Eichhoff's gone 6 innings, 3 hits and 3 earned runs. And now as we go to the 7th inning, the Phillies will look to add to their lead. They'll face Yusmeiro Petit, who is the long man for the Angels to a certain extent. And Cesar takes a strike.
He was the one in one of the division series games with the Giants and the Nationals. I think he pitched a bunch of innings when they went like 19 innings. He pitched like 6 or 7, 8 innings.
Yeah, he's found a niche as kind of a long man or a spot starter. On the ground to second base, Cowart up with it. I mean, he's 32 years old. His postseason experience in 2014, he had 6 innings out of the bullpen for the Giants against the Nationals. He struck out 7, and then he came back in the championship series and pitched 3 innings in 1 game, struck out 4.
Yeah, because Bochy was trying to win that game, and Bryce Harper hit the home run off Hunter Strickland. Brandon Belt maybe tied it up with a home run in the 9th. But Bochy had used his bullpen pretty much, and then Petit came in and pitched. He gave him a ton of innings.
And a line drive base hit it to center field for Freddie. His second hit of the night. He's been on base 3 times. Freddie provided our Toyota turning point back in the 2nd inning. This 2-run single, which has given the Phils the lead.
Yeah, beautiful thing. A long at bat by Freddie. Saw a lot of pitches from Bridwell and gets that big base hit. There's nothing better than that. Having a long at bat, and you come out on the winning end of it. But we haven't scored since.
Nope.
And I'm thinking we might have to.
They've had base runners. They've left 5 runners so far. And Altair takes a strike. All right, so just to reflect on that game, 18 innings.
Yep.
Giants scored in the top of the 18th inning to win it 2-1. It was a tense game.
Harper hit a home run, I think, in the 9th to tie it, or 8th or 9th to tie it, and I think Brandon Belt hit a home run to put the Giants ahead.
0-2.
If I remember correctly.
Going through the line score, I don't remember it that clearly.
All I know is the game start at like 3 or 4 or 5 in the afternoon or something like that.
I think it was a late afternoon game.
And
6 hours and 23 minutes.
And you know, I get the you know, I go there in like a golf shirt.
Yeah. You
and
needed
by
something
about
else
the
later
11th inning, it was freezing.
Tim Hudson went 7 1/3 in that ball game.
Yeah, because I remember who was pitching. I think Jordan Zimmerman was pitching.
Yeah.
He was pitching great. And
8 2/3.
Matt Williams took him out at 8 2/3, and they got a base hit or something.
Yeah, Zimmerman
to tie it up.
Zimmerman strikeout and fly out in the 9th inning, and then he walked Joe Panic.
Yep.
Storin came in. He allowed a single to Posey to put runners on 1st and 2nd, and then Sandoval.
Yep. Pablo got a base hit down
Double
the line,
to left field line.
down left field line. They threw Posey out at home, and it was a replay.
Right.
So that added to the length of the game, and it was close. I mean, I don't know how.
And you're right, Belt did hit a home run in the 18th off Tanner Roark. Trying to see if there was a Harper home run. I don't think. No, it was Rendon singled home a run. That was how the run scored for the Nationals.
Maybe it was the next day that Harper hit a home run off. He hit 2 that series, 2 long ones off Hunter Strickland. And then, of course, you saw what happened this year.
Giants used 8 pitchers that day. The Nationals used 9.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't quick. But, I mean, if you break it down, it's probably, what, 2-3 hour games?
Yeah, actually, the pace was good then.
Yeah, it was.
How was your post game?
None. 0. Went right to the West Coast game.
Freddie gets back.
Matter of fact, I think the Dodgers were playing, and I think our game went longer than theirs. 'Cause I remember Dan Schulman texted me, "Hey, who won your game?"
That's so great.
I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? We're still playing."
Runner goes, and a line drive caught by Simmons, and they will easily double up Freddie Galvis. No runs, a hit, and nobody left for the Phils. It's time to stretch here in Anaheim. The Phillies on top 4-3. Association's Greater Philadelphia chapter became the team's primary charity. The Phillies have raised nearly $17.7 million for the fight against ALS, the devastating, always fatal progressive neuromuscular disorder. All of Major League Baseball proudly supports ALS Home Health Initiative, which provides in-home care for those affected by Lou Gehrig's disease. Go to MLB.com/Pete for Pete's sake to learn more. Well, bottom of the 7th inning, and Edubray Ramos will take over for the Phillies. Takes over for Jared Eickhoff. Eickhoff went 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 4 and struck out 5. It really did settle down after the first 2 innings. So now Ramos, who did not perform well for the Phillies when he was up here earlier this season, but admitted in his return yesterday that his attitude was not good toward the end because he was getting hit so hard, and he feels like he's made the necessary adjustments.
Well, getting hit hard will change your disposition, won't it?
Oh, that and going down to AAA for an extended period of time. That's the pitch that he was having trouble with before he got sent down. It's a good pitch for him, although Maldonado thought it was a ball, but he was hanging too many of them. That was even better. 0-2.
Well, that's a good pitch to throw, and you got a guy who complained about the first pitch, thought it was a ball, and he's thinking in his mind, okay, well, I guess I got to swing at anything now. And guess what? He just did. That had some good downward bite to it.
You want to throw it again here?
Absolutely.
He does. 3 consecutive breaking balls, 1 out here in the 7th inning. And now Ramon Flores.
Again, another good pitch. 0-2. You want to keep this ball away. You don't want to make a mistake in the middle of the plate. And Ramos kept that ball night. A great 0-2 pitch.
'96. Yeah, that first strike really put him in the hole, huh? I mean, he swung at the next two pitches.
Yeah, that bounced. You know, whoever's coming in to pitch for the Angels really loves that too. When the catcher, your catcher, doesn't agree with the umpire's calls. Ouch. Pick saving a beauty, wasn't it?
Somewhere Whitey's stretching his legs.
Well, you know he's sitting there thinking, please don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt.
Boy, that breaking ball is really working in this 7th inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ramos. Boy, he's really tightened it up.
I tell you what, too, his first fastball in that at bat to Flores, nice 96 down and away. You know it's going to be tough to walk him. He's already walked once today. I mean, he's good for another month or so.
Yeah, we give you that stat in the first game of the series where he had hit in X amount of games and was hitting .391 and his on-base percentage was .391. And Ben swings at the first pitch and lines it to left center field. Odubel tracks it down, and Revere.
That's a heck of a play.
Holds up at first. That was a really good play. 8-game hitting streak now for Ben.
I think here's watch it play. I mean, first pitch swinging. You know, Ben Revere's aggressive, but that ball could have easily, with the route he took, easily could have got past him. Odubel made a heck of a play to keep Revere at first base. Now, here's the issue you have if you're Mike Scioscia. You want to try to get Revere into scoring position, but you would almost think that if he did, they're going to walk Trout because Albert hadn't swung the bat well today.
Trout homered in the first inning. He walked his second time up, lined out in the 5th inning. He tried that breaking ball again. Drive out to center field. That's going to drop for a hit. Revere's on his way to third. Ball kind of handcuffed Odubel. First and third, 2 men down.
Odubel was playing really deep and protecting against a double. You know, late in the game, ball drops in front of him. Revere was going to get to third either way, but.
All right, so you thinking of another buffet of sliders here, breaking balls here?
Yeah, but the concern is he bounced the one that Cameron blocked, and you know, he will bounce a breaking ball if he tries to throw the perfect one. And that's a different. When you're facing a guy that's, you know, an okay hitter, you know, you're free and easy. But you know, you saw once Trout took a couple of them, all of a sudden now, you know, he hung one and. Oh, he has to go back to just, you know, the only thing he sees right now is Cameron Rupp's glove. You can't see who's in the batter's box. If you make your pitches against Albert, you got a chance of getting him out. So just try to execute.
And a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Out to right field, playable for Altair, and he makes the catch. So he got into a little bit of trouble, worked his way out of it. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We move to the 8th inning. The Phils looking to add some insurance, up by 1. Brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Well, the Phillies holding on to a 4-3 lead. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. Tommy Joseph will lead it off against Yusmeiro Petit. And he delivers an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Slowed him up by 13 miles an hour with that hook.
Love to get a couple here. Get a little breathing room.
Yeah, for the back end of the bullpen, it's going to be Garcia in the 8th inning, or the Neris in the 9th inning. Tommy Joseph down looking on strikes for the first out. Time now for our State Farm double play. Freddie Galvis took off on this pitch, and
boy, Aaron Altair here right on the nose. Easy 6 unassisted double play, and that's our State Farm double play.
State Farm here to help life go right. Tommy was looking for that same pitch that Cameron Rupp was looking for earlier. Odubel got something soft. It was a changeup. 0-1. There's Garcia in the bullpen. Odubel tonight has singled and scored. He walked and he also hit into a double play. A high fly ball out to left, short left. 2 outs. And time to check in with Greg Murphy. He'll get us updated on what's going on around baseball. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. It's our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile, and Atlanta's right fielder Nick Markakis reached a milestone tonight in the 4th inning, a single for him, and it was career hit number 2,000. He is the 10th active player to reach that mark. Markakis is a lifetime .288 hitter for the Orioles and the Braves, those 2 teams. A couple of threes to tell you about as well tonight. The Baltimore Orioles, they turned a 5-4-3 triple play tonight against the Tigers. It was their 2nd triple play of the season. And also the Diamondbacks, Paul Goldschmidt, how about 3 home runs for him tonight. He also drove in 6 runs in that game. So 3 home runs for Goldie, 6 runs. One of those home runs was a top of the 9th home run that put them ahead for good as Arizona beat the Cubs tonight in back-to-back fashion. So 3 home runs for Goldie.
That's a big night. It's probably not going to be his last 3 home run night.
Probably
Surprised
not.
it was his first one. 2 triple plays this year for the Orioles. 1 more and they'll tie the White Sox, who had 3 last year. Line drive base hit for Maikel Franco. Mike Trout gets to it, holds Franco to a single. That ends an 0 for 11 for Maikel in this series.
Designated hitter, number 5, Nick Williams.
One of the first balls he got on top of. He's been popping up a lot. This could be a good matchup for Nick.
Figure he's going to get a changeup to start this at bat.
Oh, you think it's going to be, yeah. Maldonado held that one there for a long time. Well, he and home plate umpire going to be exchanging Christmas cards this coming Christmas.
Off the left field line and off the tarp. Don't forget, tomorrow we're in Colorado. Be on the air at 8:30. Vince Velasquez on the mound for the Phillies. Kyle Freeland on the hill for the Rockies. Two and one to Williams.
Is there a time difference in Colorado?
Mountain time. We gain an hour back.
So we lose an hour.
Right. Out toward right center field. Flores on the run. It looked like he trapped it. He did. Franco keeps on rolling. He'll be held at third, and Williams will slide in with his 2nd double of the night.
Mike Socha signaled the umpires to hold off for a second. They want to take a look at this one, but my eyesight's really bad, but I think I saw that one.
Yeah, you did see it.
You know, good from far, far from good, I guess. It's another double for Nick, huh?
Yeah, Nick with 2 tonight, 6 overall. 3 triples. His 3 triples are tied for 2nd since he was called up. All right, so the Phils have a couple insurance runs with Kim at the plate.
Got a base hit right here and scored 2. Give us some insurance. Give Luis and Hector a little breathing room.
A bit outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. I think Maldonado thought that one should have been a strike too, but he's really battling.
Yeah, he's holding it there. You can see his head, shaking his head. I think one more close pitch, we could have some interesting things happen.
He wanted that one again. 3 and 1. You can see there. Look at Kim. Kim's looking at him. So they're going to put him on to face Rupp. So it loads it up with 2 outs.
Yeah, here's the one right here. When the umpire acts like he's cleaning off home plate, this is a nice face-to-face conversation. It's off the plate. I mean, if it was a strike, Kim would have hit it.
Yes, he would have.
You know that.
He's disciplined.
Yeah, I like that when the umpire acts like he's cleaning home plate. That way he can get a little face-to-face time with the catcher.
And you know, pitch cast, which we just showed you, the only pitch that was in the zone was the one he called a strike.
Here's where Cameron has to be aggressive early. Taking a lot of pitches, get behind in the count. Sneak attack right here. Swing, get that first pitch fastball. And see if you can't hit it over that out-of-town scoreboard up there for a 4-pointer.
Oh and 1.
Well, both catchers are unhappy now.
But they're bringing a new catcher for each team just to settle things down a little bit.
We ain't got one.
Well, Whitey hasn't caught. That's one of the 2 positions he hasn't played in his big league career.
Well, then Cameron hit a grand slam and then yell at the umpire when you're coming across home. Just get the 4 runs first.
0 and 2.
All right, now just put it in play.
One ball and 2 strikes to Rupp. Maldonado wiggling some fingers with the bases loaded, and it's 1 and 2. And Cameron hits it off the end of the bat right back to the mounds. And Petit works out of bases loaded jam. Phillies leave 3. They left 8 in this ball game. Middle of the 8th. Phillies lead is still at 1. out for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. Maldonado thought he had a home run here, but Odubel Herrera took care of it.
Yeah, he kind of stood there and watched it for a second, but Odubel said, no, my friend, I'll take care of this. Jared Eichhoff very happy. Odubel pounding the glove because he made a Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
All right, so now we go to Luis Garcia as we begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Garcia takes over for Ramos. Ramos pitched a scoreless 7. And Valbuena takes up and away, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Here's where you got to watch with Valbuena. He tries to get one early and turn it loose. I mean, he's only hitting, came into this game hitting 192, but he does have 11 homers.
A little tardy on that 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
I don't think Luis is impressed with the 11 homers.
Garcia 2.15 earned run average.
He's been really good.
Look at the opposition's batting average against 224.
Hadn't pitched in a couple days, so he should be lively with that fastball.
Yeah, Pete gave him he and Neris some time off. Felt like he needed to.
They probably didn't have to tell us so, because the way the first 2 games went.
That is true. Three and 1.
Wonder if Valbuena gets on if Robinson pinch runs for him.
Simmons on deck. Foul tip, or I should say a foul ball. 3-2. Valbuena, who tonight making his 18th start over at third base. He's played a lot of first base. And he fouls it off the left side. 3-2. Getting the leg stretched out.
Oh, man.
You doing some Pilates?
Planking. Big planker.
Tries to run 98 toward the outside part of the plate. And a high fly ball deep down the right field line. Foul. Well, he hung that one.
Seem to be enjoying whatever.
That was a split?
I think so. It was a hanger, whatever it was.
So his slider usually goes down toward the dirt. He's trying to get that fastball by him, but Valbuena keeps on fouling it off. Tried to split again.
Who wins the battle?
I always wonder where the advantage is. I would think it's the hitter because he's timing the fastball. Do you think he has enough confidence to throw a slider?
I'd throw a fastball up and away. See if he could.
Nope, he went with the split, and it's ball 4. 11 pitch at bat.
That looks like Cliff Pennington coming in to run for Valbuena.
So it is Pennington who will
Chad
come in.
Pennington, former quarterback at Marshall University. This is Cliff Pennington.
So Valbuena with a leadoff walk. And now Simmons, who is 0 for 2. He's hit in 11 consecutive games. Two and 0.
You got to challenge him right here with a fastball.
You've got a plus fastball.
Yeah, and he hasn't really gotten around on any fastball yet. As far as there you go.
Line drive, base hit to right field.
Inside out's it.
Pennington on his way to third. Going to second is Simmons. Second and third, nobody out. 12-game hitting streak for Simmons. I think you're right, though, John. I think you had to challenge him.
Yeah, and you know, this is just an inside out. He was, you know, the ball beat him. It's just, you know, he shot it the other way. When you look at this pitch, I mean, it's a fastball. It looked like, you know, it looked like he's trying to pull it. It just so happens that he got his hands inside it and shot it the other way. I don't think the intention was there to hit the ball the other way.
Bob McClure coming out. Well, here's one of the positives for Garcia is that he has the ability to strike out the next 3 hitters. He has that ability.
Yes.
I think he needs to strike out here.
Yeah, the problem that comes into play here is now you know, even if something happens, the Angels don't score, you're still bringing Trout and Pujols into the 9th inning.
So C.J. Cron with the infield in. And he swings at the first pitch and fouls it. It's 0-1. Cron is 0 for 2. He walked his first time up, but he's flied out twice.
It's interesting that infield halfway. You know, anything relatively hard hit, if it's not a couple steps either way to the middle infielders, the Phillies are going to be behind.
Bouncer back to the mound, off the glove of Garcia. They'll get Cron, but the Angels have tied it up. One, 4, 3. 1 out. Simmons is mad that he didn't go to third because he probably should have once that ball glanced off the glove of Garcia.
Yeah, especially Pennington. Looked like Pennington was going on contact. Yeah, well, he wasn't. Pennington hesitated. Maybe that's what threw Simmons off.
Well, they're going to walk Coward intentionally. Second walk for Garcia in the inning.
Well,
now Martin Maldonado.
And the plot thickens with Martin Maldonado in the home plate umpire. Gets another chance to chat with him.
Hitless in 3 at-bats, robbed by Odubel Herrera back in the 4th inning. Last time the Phillies won a game against the Angels, Vicente Padilla was the starting pitcher. It's the only win the Phillies have in this series, this interleague series.
Yeah, sometimes too, when a guy thinks he made a base running mistake, he might try to steal third. And Luis with that inside move just to check and see.
At the knees, 0-1. Well, you kept saying all along Phillies needed more, and they certainly did. And if they're scoring the 4 in the 2nd. Down the right field line, that'll slice out of play. It's 0-2.
I mean, it's like the Angels yesterday only scored 1 inning. They just happened to score 7. We only scored 4. Manageable.
7 would have been good.
No kidding.
And then, as you mentioned, Pujols and Trout, unless this inning gets out of control, will be up in the 9th inning. Possibly both of them. Definitely one of them.
And it's the one you don't want to see. I mean, the only thing you have to think about is that the Angels have had bullpen struggles too without Houston Street.
But Norris has been designated as their closer of sorts. And now the 1-2 pitch to Maldonado. He fouled it back. Check swing and a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 21 pitch inning for Garcia. He hasn't had many innings like this recently. Had a scoreless streak snapped last week.
Why do they boo?
I don't know. I think it's just it's in their DNA.
I mean, if you want the game to end, go home.
Yeah. Three and 2.
You send them. Maldonado struck out twice.
Think so.
I don't either. Oh, my old teammate was giving some signals down there, Ron Renicky. That's the one thing I enjoy about traveling around. You get to see guys.
San Diego or
AAA actually.
Okay. Now time is called by Maldonado. Fly ball center field. Odubel's going back. Simmons will tag up. The throw goes to second base, and Simmons does get to third, but his base running mistake means the game is still tied. Two outs. And it looks like a pinch hitter, Cole Calhoun, is going to pinch hit for the Angels. And Ramon Flores. Hampered by a hamstring injury. That's what's kept him out of the series. Hitting .231 this year with 13 home runs and 45 runs batted in. Now 29 years old.
That's the thing about now Simmons getting to third base on that deep fly ball to center. Now that hole's opened up for Cole Calhoun. And he can pull a fastball.
Whoa! All the way back to the screen. Here comes Simmons. He'll score. And the Angels take the lead 5-4. Ball just slipped right on out of his hand.
It looked like he had it split.
Yep.
Yeah, that was just a complete slip out of the hand.
Luis has given up a couple runs in this inning. There's a ground ball to short. Galvis is up with it. Inning is over, but the damage is done. 2 runs score for the Angels. So now it means we go to the 9th inning. Cesar Hernandez at the top of the order will lead it off with Bud Norris coming in. Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Amy Fadul and Ricky Vitalico are standing by. They'll definitely talk about that 8th inning and how the Angels scored 2 runs to erase the deficit and take the lead. They'll also talk about Nick Williams' night and Jared Eichhoff settling down after the first 2 innings. Again, that's coming up on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies postgame live. So Cowart moves over to third base for the Angels. Pennington stays in the ballgame to play second base. There he is, and Cole Calhoun will get some time defensively as he is in right field. And the new pitcher is Bud Norris. Bud Norris, longtime starting pitcher, has had a little trouble with the grand slam. That's a walk-off grand slam there. Steve Pearce, his second one in a week.
Contact to damage ratio pretty good for Steve Pearce.
Contact to damage ratio was exceptional.
Launch angle, exit velo, all good there. All good when you hit a grand slam.
Well, let's hope that there's some exit velo off Cesar Hernandez's bat as we begin the 9th inning. Fastball 0-1. Norris has a cutter, which is one of his more effective pitches. 16 saves and 18 opportunities. It hasn't always been pretty, as you saw from that grand slam. Out toward left field, Ben Revere will get there. One out.
Cesar hit the ball hard.
Yep.
I was surprised Revere was playing kind of shallowish for. You would think you would want no doubles in this point in the game, but I guess when you have the speed that he has, and maybe you can play a little more shallow.
Freddie Galvis has 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3. Luis Garcia gave up the 2 runs in his inning of work. The 2 walks were kind of, well, the first one was a backbreaker. The other one was an intentional walk. 2-0. But you do have a guy who you can get runs against.
Here's where Freddie got to be really patient. You draw a little box. If he throws in that box, that's the only pitch you're swinging on, and it better be the one you're looking for. That's a fastball middle.
Yeah, Norris off the outer edge again. Houston Street was who the Angels hoped was going to be the closer, but like a lot of the players, is on the DL. Same pitch, back-to-back spots.
Wow. Guess they can go either way, right?
Yeah, I guess they can.
But man,
once he called the 3-0 pitch. 3-2 pitch coming to Galvis. And he fouls it up to the upper deck. 45th appearance this year for Norris. Who did work as a reliever several years ago for the San Diego Padres, but for the most part has been a starting pitcher in his nearly 10-year career. Gave up that grand slam to the Blue Jays on the 30th. Gave up the grand slam to the Indians on the 25th.
Pretty rough week for him, huh?
Pretty rough week. Edwin Encarnacion hit the grand slam for the Indians. Now that walked it off in the 11th inning. In the air to right field. Calhoun going back. He has room. A couple of steps on the track. Makes the catch. 2 outs. Phillies are trying to avoid a 12th consecutive loss to the Angels. Their win came back in 2003. Vicente Padilla was on the mound for the Phillies. The Mets' red streak is the only one that is longer than this one. Aaron Altair, the last hope for the Phils. He's 0 for 4. Well, he's thrown so many fastballs that he drops that one into Altair. And another one.
Hey, Aaron's caught in between.
Yep. Just got a piece of that one to make it 0-2.
Yeah, you know, late on the fastball, ahead of the breaking ball. Yeah, Bud Norris. I would be shocked if he didn't try to throw a slider down and away to see if Aaron will chase.
No balls and 2 strikes to Altair. And he does chase. It gets away from Maldonado. Altair hustling up the line, and he's there. Boy, that leg, he's not running like he normally would, but it's a strikeout wild pitch to keep the game alive.
First baseman, number 19, Tommy Johnson.
Well, he got the slider like we talked about, and it, you know, Maldonado wanted it in. Once that ball was more center of the plate, it just didn't get his glove turned around. Like you said, Aaron, not normally Maldonado can just pick that one up and throw it back to the pitcher, but Aaron's not running real well. I think Bud Norris is real happy. Try to make him a little more unhappy.
Tommy Joseph's single came back in the 5th.
And now they got the outfield way back. Look, Trout's almost at the wall. It's going to take a.
Popped him up. Right side of the infield. Crone is there. And the Angels have swept out the Phils in this 3-game series. The Phillies losing streak to LA has extended to 12 games as the Angels come from behind to win it 5-4. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, and 1 man left. Our Chevrolet players of the game, the Angels bullpen, they put together 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Our W.B. Mason delivery of the game, speaking of bullpens, is the most important pitch of the night as far as the Angels are concerned.
That ball just slipped out of Luis Garcia's hand, and Andrelton Simmons, who kind of did us a favor by not advancing on a grounder to, well, off the pitcher's glove to second base, but we helped them out there at that wild pitch, and that was a deciding run in this ball game. And
another 1-run loss for the Phils, now 14-27 in 1-run games. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.